Attention, football fans and betting sharpshooters. Get ready for a Bundesliga spectacle. We have league leaders Bayern Munich, a relentless juggernaut, traveling to face the dynamic Eintracht Frankfurt at Deutsche Bank Park. Can Frankfurt's famously chaotic, high-scoring style actually trip up the champions? Or will Bayern extend their awe-inspiring run of victories? This isn't just a match, it's a potential goalfest, packed with drama and pivotal betting insights. Both sides are set to deploy a 4-2-3-1 formation, signaling attacking intent from the whistle. Intriguingly, both excel at lethal finishing and rapid counterattacks. But here's the twist: Frankfurt shows significant defensive vulnerabilities. They struggle immensely against counterattacks, are prone to individual mistakes, and often fail to prevent opposition chances. Bayern, surprisingly, also exhibits a chink in their armor when it comes to stifling opponent creativity. Could this be a recipe for sheer chaos? Frankfurt loves speculative long shots and a high offside line, while Bayern prefers dominant possession and incisive through balls. Expect an end-to-end affair, likely bursting with goals. Let's assess the injury landscape, a critical factor for any bettor. Bayern Munich faces significant gaps, missing pivotal talents like Alphonso Davies and Jamal Musiala, with Hiroki Ito also under a cloud. These are undeniably massive absences. Yet, can Bayern's legendary squad depth simply absorb such blows? For Eintracht Frankfurt, Rasmus Christensen and Jessic Ngenkum are sidelined. While Frankfurt anticipates only a single alteration from their last European fixture, Bayern's list of absentees features more marquee names. Despite this, Bayern's current blistering form suggests they've found ways to thrive even without their full arsenal. This speaks volumes about their collective strength. Turning to the Bundesliga standings, Bayern Munich occupies the summit, boasting a flawless record of maximum points from their opening 5 encounters. Their goal difference is nothing short of phenomenal, scoring 22 times while shipping just 3. Eintracht Frankfurt sits in 4th position, having secured 9 points from 3 victories and 2 defeats. Their goal difference, a modest +4, comes from 17 goals scored but a concerning 13 conceded. This starkly paints the picture: Bayern is an almost impregnable fortress, while Frankfurt transforms every match into an unpredictable, goal-laden spectacle, both offensively and defensively. For total goals markets, this contrast is gold. Frankfurt's recent form has been an absolute rollercoaster, and for bettors, an eye-opener. They endured a crushing defeat, shipping 5 goals against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League, with 3 of those arriving before the break. Prior to that, a Bundesliga thriller saw them overpower Borussia Mönchengladbach by 6-4, remarkably leading by 5-0 at halftime. They also suffered a 4-3 home loss to Union Berlin. This pattern screams goals. Frankfurt's games are consistently high-scoring, but their defense, particularly in the opening half, appears tragically porous. Look at those early goal markets. Bayern Munich arrives in Frankfurt brimming with an absolutely sensational, almost terrifying, level of form. They've clinched victory in every single one of their recent half-dozen competitive fixtures. This incredible run includes a dominant 5-1 triumph away in the Champions League and a commanding 4-0 home demolition of Werder Bremen in the Bundesliga. Harry Kane, their talisman, has been an inferno, bagging multiple goals in his last 2 outings alone. Bayern consistently leads at both the interval and the final whistle, often burying opponents with a flurry of early goals. This squad is not just good, it's a meticulously engineered goal-scoring juggernaut. Diving deeper into recent statistics, Eintracht Frankfurt's matches are averaging well over 3 goals scored and conceded combined. At home, they net an impressive 4 goals on average, but crucially, ship around 2.5 to their opponents. Bayern Munich, conversely, averages an astonishing 4 goals scored per match, while conceding barely 1. They boast a perfect 100% win rate across their last 6 outings, a stark contrast to Frankfurt's 50% success. When Bayern travels, they continue this relentless attack, scoring roughly 4 goals per game and conceding just over 1. For total goals markets, this data strongly points towards a spectacular goalfest, likely capped by a dominant Bayern performance. Let's unearth the history between these two Bundesliga titans. In their most recent 6 encounters, Bayern Munich has claimed victory in 3, shared the spoils twice, and suffered just 1 defeat against Frankfurt. That single Frankfurt triumph? A truly memorable 5-1 demolition right here at home. Critically, these fixtures are notorious for their goal-laden nature, delivering scorelines like a decisive 4-0, an exhilarating 3-3 draw, and even that sensational 1-6. Both sides consistently find the net multiple times when they clash. The historical trend signals an absolutely open game, filled with chances and goals for both teams, though Bayern typically holds the edge. Now, let's dissect the goal dynamics in their head-to-head battles, and this is where it gets really interesting for bettors. Frankfurt consistently finds the net against Bayern when they play on home turf. However, here's the critical caveat: they also concede a substantial number of goals at home in these very fixtures. Intriguingly, Bayern, the away side, actually scores more goals when visiting Frankfurt. What a pattern! And pay close attention, first-half goals are a dominant theme. Frankfurt has repeatedly shipped early goals at home to Bayern, while Bayern consistently punctures the net in the opening period when on the road. This screams halftime score and early goal markets. Turning to player height, the differences between these squads are, truth be told, quite negligible. Frankfurt's defenders are, on average, just a whisker taller, perhaps by a solitary centimeter. Similarly, Bayern's goalkeeper and attacking players also stand marginally taller, again by mere centimeters. While these distinctions are truly minimal and unlikely to dictate the overall outcome, it's worth noting that for specific set-piece situations or aerial duels, individual jumping ability and timing will undoubtedly outweigh such tiny discrepancies. So, for corners or long balls, it's skill over microscopic stature. Let's quickly glance at the age profiles, a subtle yet sometimes crucial factor. Bayern Munich's defensive unit and midfield boast an average age of roughly 27 and 24 years respectively, suggesting a slight edge in seasoned experience. Frankfurt fields a comparatively younger squad, with defenders averaging around 25 and their forwards at 24. Could Bayern's additional wisdom in critical positions offer a minor, yet decisive, advantage in managing the high-pressure moments of this pivotal clash? Perhaps in tighter situations, that veteran composure might just shine through. When we delve into individual player ratings, a very clear and compelling narrative unfolds. Bayern Munich's squad consistently commands superior ratings across virtually every position on the pitch. Their defensive line, their attacking force, their goalkeeper, and their midfield all register notably higher scores. For instance, Bayern's forwards boast an average rating of around 7.3, a significant half-point advantage over Frankfurt's 6.7. This isn't just a slight edge, it underscores a distinct quality chasm and Bayern's undeniable individual dominance in crucial areas. For handicap betting, this insight is incredibly telling. For Bayern, Harry Kane is the undisputed, incandescent superstar, a force of nature leading in goals, assists, and man-of-the-match accolades, a prime candidate for any anytime scorer bet. Konrad Laimer also shines, dominating aerial duels and spraying key passes from midfield. Frankfurt, in contrast, exhibits a more collaborative strength. Robin Koch is a rock in the air, while Knudsen leads their scoring charts. Fairs Chibi, Ritsu Doan, and Jean-Matteo Bahoya are their creative engines, driving assists and key passes. While Frankfurt undoubtedly possesses commendable talent, Bayern's sheer star power, spearheaded by Kane, operates on an entirely different plane of excellence. Will individual brilliance outshine collective grit? Shifting focus to some negative metrics, an intriguing pattern emerges. Bayern's prolific Harry Kane also tops the charts for offsides and fouls per game, quite a paradox for a goal machine. Michael Ollis frequently finds himself outmaneuvered and has already collected a pair of yellow cards. For Frankfurt, Knudsen leads the team in fouls committed. Furthermore, Rasmus Christensen and Arthur the 8 have each accumulated 2 cautions. Could these tendencies hint at a lively card market, especially given the expected intensity of this monumental fixture? Keep an eye on player-specific cards or overall booking points. Let's pinpoint exactly when the nets are likely to bulge. Frankfurt has a habit of finding the target within the first 10 minutes and continuing through to the 50-minute mark. Crucially though, they frequently concede during that critical 10-minute window before halftime, and then again in the final quarter hour of the match. Bayern Munich, on the other hand, unleashes a torrent of goals between the 20 and 30-minute segments, and then again in the pre-halftime phase, often securing a lead before the interval. They are remarkably stingy, shipping very few goals, mostly in the latter stages of the second half. This data is a goldmine for first-half goals, especially for Bayern to score early. Now, for what truly sets the betting pulse racing. Every single match involving Eintracht Frankfurt this season has seen the goal count soar above 2.5. In fact, all 5 of their encounters have even surpassed 3.5 goals. And here's the astonishing part. It's the exact same high-scoring narrative for Bayern Munich. 100% of their matches have also featured well over 2.5, and indeed, over 3.5 goals. For those who revel in goal-laden fixtures, this match is, statistically speaking, an almost unmissable event. 4 out of Bayern's 5 games have even exceeded 4.5 goals. Total goals markets are practically screaming here.